folks, we're here. It's Edmonton, Alberta, Canada at the Ranch Roadhouse. We're joined by an all-time legend who needs no introduction, but I might as well do it anyway. Zakk
Did you
Wylde.
hear that, JD?
I disagree.
You disagree?
What are you doing?
Hey, how are you? Thank you so much, man. Good to see you as well. So let me start off with this. You're synonymous with the legendary bullseye design on your guitars.
Yes.
Absolutely. You're known for that. Now, did you sell those all the way
Maybe
through?
He'll tell you some other things I'm known for as well. But
I've heard anal bleaching. I don't know.
yes, that as well, because it's all about the art.
Absolutely.
Keeping it fresh and clean.
Keeping it fresh and clean. So did you start selling those after they became popular from your using them, or did you sell them all the way through, put your name on them?
No, we sold it with the anal bleaching, materials that we sell now. Just no, obviously with Gibson when I started doing the when they did the signature model and stuff like that. So yeah, so that's what we do now. So JD it prefers to use bullseye toilet paper, so because he's thinking of me often. Every time I break into a solo, or actually anytime I pick up a guitar, he breaks out the toilet paper.
You guys are very heavy on the anal rectal things here.
It's a very important element of everything that's Black Label, because when people say, man, Black Label, that's crap. It's like, yeah, I know. We know. Well, that's why we're big into anal bleaching, anal everything. We go for prostate exams, even though we know we're healthy and fit.
That's right.
We'll go sometimes 2-3 times a day, and we make sure that our doctor, our proctologist, has is the size of Andre the Giant.
Just for good leisure.
Whoever's got the biggest hands, that's our guy.
I love it. Hey, let me ask you this. Kiss just was under fire because they had an interviewer in an Iron Maiden shirt, and Gene Simmons actually took it off of him and made him put a Kiss shirt on. So would it offend you if I was wearing another band's shirt right now?
No, not at all. No.
Any thoughts on the Gene?
Yeah, because we're buddies with all these bands anyways, pretty much. So, you know what I mean? So they're all our friends. So, yeah, it's all good.
Tell me this. What's the biggest adversity you've had to face to get where you are today and become the legend that you are now?
Not having enough, that's just so not unnice. And but the whole thing is, no, I think a lot of the problems is with us is shortage of razors, and JD, what would you say? The Mach 2, the Mach 3?
I like the Mach 3 myself.
Because and we use it for shaving our legs, because it really is, it gets into a big expense when you're looking at the tour budget, like fishnet stockings. Right. If you don't shave your legs properly, you get stubble, stuff like that, and then it rips the fishnets, and then you're looking at like, wow, this is like an insane amount of fishnets we have to keep buying here. How do we cut down on that? You have good blades, you have a good razor, and it cuts back on costs. So yeah, but I would say that would be probably one of the huge adversities in Black Label.
Wow. So, and I see all the fishnets here, by the way. He's not joking. I mean, they got a lot back here.
Yes, we do.
But there was never a moment where you thought maybe you couldn't achieve it when you were younger to be at this level?
No, I think, I just think, me and JD's just always talk about it. Like, if I was never blessed with having Ozzy in my life and us having our Black Label family and all that stuff, I think me and JD would just, like we said, we'd either have a wedding band, we'd have our cover band, we'd be teaching, we'd own a music store. I mean, but everything would circle around music. We wouldn't have some crummy job where we can't stand where I'm going, JD, there's got to be another way. I mean, the whole thing is, just because you're not playing 6 nights at Madison Square Garden, I always tell everybody, yes, that's the goal. You want to get to Madison Square Garden. But on the way there, as long as you could support yourself and you could do what you love, and that's being a band with your buddies, and even though we're in a, I've had just as much of a good time when we first started playing in the band and we were playing keg parties in somebody's kitchen in front of, 15 of our friends and just playing covers. That was just as much fun as playing in front of 600,000 people when we were in Poland on the Woodstock Festival. So it's still the same rush, and it's still the same, you're still having a great time. So, whether you're living in an apartment or you have this big house, the whole thing is you're pretty much still in the same place, the kitchen and your bedroom, you know what I mean? Right. So it's just nothing really changes. But but no, I think I tell everybody that, like, do you have any advice for my son or my daughter? It's just like, yeah, the whole thing is you should be having a good time while you're playing music.
Exactly. Dio said that, he thinks the way bands should do it was playing like 5, 6 years in the bar circuit, just like you're saying, and just work your way up and having fun, man. So, solid advice there. I got to ask you, how many instruments can you play? Which ones are they? And is there anything that you've always wanted to play that you maybe haven't tried yet?
Well, according to JD's, I can't play any of them. So, but the thing is this, no, obviously, guitar, bass, noodle on the drums. If I were to take myself serious, you got to practice. And a piano, stuff like that. So, harmonica, but, JD.
So no French horn coming up?
Doesn't like when I do that either. But, but the whole thing is, not a French horn. If I wanted to play it, do some stones or whatever, can't always get what you want or whatever. But, the whole thing is, like anything, you apply yourself and you learn how to do it,
Yeah, no doubt. At this point in your career, is there anything difficult about playing guitar at all?
No, if there's something you want to learn, you like I said, you got to apply yourself and you practice and you learn it.
Right.
Doesn't matter, you know what I mean? Anybody. Put it this way: when you acquire enough speed and technique, and I still run scales all the time just because I enjoy doing it. You know, so it's like having a workout, like lifting weights or whatever. But no, any of the guys that we know that could play fast, whether it's Yngwie, like when I'm out on the Generation X tour, between Yngwie, Nuno, Father Tosin, and Father Steve, each one of them, their techniques, there's really nothing they can't play, you know what I'm saying, if you put it in front of them. But if there was something they had to work on or whatever, they would just give me a call, let me work on this for a little bit and I can do it. So, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
So, I think, it's just all like you said. If you want to learn something, you're going to learn it.
Yeah, no doubt. And you mentioned Ozzy Osbourne a little bit earlier. I know, of course, you love Sabbath. I love Sabbath. Now that it's been a couple months, how does it feel that that's really come to an end and they're done?
Well, this is now that we're doing the No More Tours tour. And then, the reason why we're doing this one right now, Oz was like, Zachy, listen, this Conor McGregor fight versus Mayweather, everything you've ever made with me, everything you've ever made with Jay Jesus, anything you guys have made with your landscaping, lawn mowing business, Black Label pool cleaning business, put it on Conor to win the fight. And I was like, are you sure about this? He goes, I've got some inside information. He goes, now listen, Ozzy goes, I've put everything from Black Sabbath I've ever made, everything with St. Rhodes, with Jake, everything I've ever made on Conor to win this fight. I said, all right, let's do it. And now me and the boss are homeless and living in a van down by the river. So that's the reason why we're doing this tour.
You're down by Laguna Seca now in a box?
So if Oz says in 2020, Zach, I got some inside information on some frog racing, I might have to question his source.
Yeah, I don't think Ozzy's credible for his sports betting. I think he's maybe more of a vocalist.
Well, apparently now that's the reason why we're doing this tour to 2020.
That's hilarious. And what kind of songs can people expect on the tour? Is it going to be a lot of stuff with you that you actually recorded, or maybe classic Ozzy?
Well, I'm sure we're going to end up doing everything as much as we can from the entire catalog. You know what I mean? He has a couple records, so you know what I mean. So yeah, I think probably the show will be a 6-hour show, and the intermission break, 3 intermissions and stuff like that. Yeah, without a doubt.
What's he like? Like, what's it like being around him for extended periods of time? This is a long tour.
Oz is hysterical. Like I always said, it's just a miracle any work ever gets done because you're like constantly on the floor crying and laughing because he makes fun of himself all the time, and then he's just taking the piss out of whatever else is going on with other bands or whatever else. Just pop culture or anything in general. You know what I mean? So, like within minutes you're on the floor crying and laughing. So. But no, it's great being around Oz. And the whole camp and everybody in the camp is just super cool. And then playing with the guys, obviously, with Father Blasco and Tommy and Adam and all the guys. So it's nothing but a great time.
That's wonderful. I can't wait to see the videos of the tour. I won't be able to see it, sadly. So to end it off, just a couple quick things just to let people know a little bit more about you.
2 years you can go probably see the tour.
I guess 2020.
Yeah, we'll be out.
Save like $700.
We're broke. We're broke. Thanks to Conor McGregor losing this fight.
So no comp tickets then?
We probably can't do that because we're broke.
Understandably, right?
Yeah. We got to pay off the van down by the river.
Exactly. So what's your favorite way of consuming music? Is it streaming, vinyl, CD?
Pretty much everything. I still buy vinyl want to buy a Frank Marino record, Mahogany Rush, or Robin Trower, or a Hendrix album, or the Sabbath, Sabbath records, because I dig vinyl, and then or either CDs if I can find them, but I mean it's kind of crazy that CDs are going to be like 8 tracks and cassettes, so or else you just with iTunes and stuff like that. So I mean, which is cool. I mean, in regards to or Apple Music or whatever. So where you have, I could hit singer-songwriter up and I'll find all these amazing artists I never even knew about. So, which is very cool. That you wouldn't hear on the radio or anything like that. So, or jazz artists or amazing guitar players or whatever. So, in that regard, it's really cool.
That's awesome. Yeah, I love the different advantages of the different services. How about television? Are you watching anything, or are you a movie guy more?
Well, yeah, maybe Curb Your Enthusiasm, Larry David, but that's about it. But aside of anything else I watch, I really don't watch a lot of TV unless it's Star Trek, the old Star Trek, or the new Star Trek, and then Curb, and otherwise it cuts into porn. So I can't do that. I mean?
That's the primo time, isn't it?
Yeah, yes, we watch more of that.
And of course, final question: your Desert Island album, favorite of all time. What do you name? So hard, I know.
Maybe. I don't know. I think you'd have to go anything with Zeppelin or Sabbath or Elton John for me. I mean, any of those guys. You throw the Allman Brothers in there too, or Skinner.
I gotta do Sabotage.
Or whatever. You know what I mean? So wait, who do you got?
Black Sabbath, Sabotage.
Okay, well that one's another classic as well, without a doubt. I'd actually, that specific record, I'd put Ozzy's vocal performance on that. They're all great on every record, but I mean, his vocal performance on that. When I asked him, I said, Oz, on that album, your singing is just Pavarotti level on that one. And he just goes, I go, did you do anything? Did you eat your Wheaties that morning? He goes, no, Zakk. Just a lot of drugs. I go, oh, there you have it, kids.
Cocaine cereal boxes.
But the drugs he was doing had a lot of vitamin C, and they were multivitamin drugs.
Legal. Hey, Zakk, thank you so much for your time. It's been an absolute pleasure. You too.
After the anal bleaching appointment and the leg shaving, we'll have a good time at the show tonight.